Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen and welcome to my home. Today we're making pineapple upside down cake. This is such a delicious cake. It is so sweet and so flavorful and so buttery and so sticky. It is perfect, and the pineapples mixed with the caramelized brown sugar and the butter makes it so sweet yet a little bit tangy. It's just amazing. It does require a few steps though, which is to make the topping and then to make the cake, but it is so completely worth it, I promise you. So let's get started. The ingredients you need for the topping are some pineapples. I'm using canned pineapples. You can of course use fresh pineapples if they're in season. You need some butter, some brown sugar, and some maraschino cherries, but these are optional. And for the cake you need some flour, some baking powder, some salt, some butter which is at room temperature. It's very important that it's at room temperature. Some milk, some vanilla, some sugar. You need 2 eggs. And you have to separate the egg whites from the egg yolks. And also make sure that the eggs are at room temperature as well. As usual, exact ingredients are in the description box below this video. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take a 9-inch diameter pan and you're going to butter the bottom and the sides. Okay, and then set it aside. Then in a small saucepan over medium heat, you're going to place the butter and the brown sugar until they melt together. So this shouldn't take very long, just a few minutes. Okay, when the butter completely melts and the sugar becomes, liquid like this, we're gonna pour this in the bottom of the pan. And just tilt the pan to coat the bottom with the sugar. Like that. And then you're gonna take your pineapple and place it in one layer. And if you are using maraschino cherries, place them in the center of the pineapple. I have cut the maraschino cherries in half and I'm going to place the round half down. Needless to mention that I actually turned off the heat, okay? I'm just placing it here for convenience because the camera is placed here. I think maybe one here and one here. Okay, so now I've finished preparing my topping. I'm gonna put this pan aside and I'm gonna start preparing my batter. First thing you have to do is you have to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we're going to sift our dry ingredients together. So to a medium bowl, I'm going to sift the flour with the baking powder and the salt. And then using a standing mixer with the paddle attachment, I'm going to cream the butter, which is, like I said, at room temperature. If you don't want to use a standing mixer, you can use a hand mixer, or you can use your hands too. Just cream it on low speed for about a minute. And then add the sugar, and mix on medium for about 2 minutes until it gets light and fluffy. And then add the egg yolks, and the vanilla, and mix for another 2 minutes on medium. Halfway through, just scrape down the sides and the bottom just to make sure everything is well incorporated. See? Butter here is really sticking to the sides. Okay, now we're going to add about 1/3 of the flour mixture and beat until the flour is just incorporated, and that means until you can't see the flour anymore. Do not overmix. As I always say, if you overmix, your cake will turn out to be too hard and chewy, almost like bread. So make sure not to overmix. See? I'll stop here. I can't see the flour anymore. It's disappeared into the batter, so I'll stop. And now I'm going to add half of my milk and beat just for a couple of seconds. And then I'm going to add another third of the flour mixture. Add the rest of the milk. And the last of the flour mixture. That's it. Okay, now put this aside until we finish our egg whites. And now I'm going to beat my egg whites to create a meringue. Now, if you're using your stand mixer, and if you have like another bowl with your stand mixer, you have to use this whisk balloon attachment. Because I don't have another bowl, I'm going to do this by using my hand mixer. You have to make sure that the bowl is clean and dry. Make sure there's no, no drops of water in there. Otherwise, your eggs will not form a meringue properly. So now to the clean bowl, I'm going to add my egg whites. And I'm going to beat them on medium-high speed for about, I would say, 5 minutes or until soft peaks form. Okay, so after about 5 minutes, I'm getting soft peaks. I love how this looks. It looks like beautiful snow. Okay, enough play. Okay, so now we're going to place the egg whites into the batter. And we're going to fold it gently. Now, don't work too hard when you fold the egg whites into the batter because you don't want to deflate the egg whites. And by the way, the reason why we are separating the egg whites from the egg yolks and creating a meringue out of the egg whites is because we want this cake to be extra fluffy and airy, and the meringue causes that. When we make the meringue, we create foam and we create air, and that way your batter and your cake will end up airy and fluffy. This, you don't really have to do it. You can just mix in the eggs directly into the batter without separating the egg whites from the egg yolks. But you will end up with not as a fluffy and airy cake as you would if you would separate the egg whites. Okay, so after I fold in my egg whites, I'm going to pour the batter on top of the pineapples. And just gently spread the batter evenly, and be kind of gentle so that you don't move the pineapples around. Alright, so now I'm going to place this into my preheated oven. I'm going to place it in the center of the oven and bake it for approximately 50 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean with no batter on it. My cake is baking for 55 minutes. And I know it's done by inserting a knife into the center, and it comes out clean with no batter. So now it's time to flip the cake. I cannot describe the smell right now. I know you can't smell if something is sweet, but I don't know, it's just the butter with the sugar, you can smell the sweetness and the buttery goodness oozing from this cake. I really can't describe it. It's too good. Okay, so now you're going to take a flat dish. Just make sure that the diameter of the dish is bigger than the diameter of the cake, obviously. And then we're going to flip it. You can flip it while it's still hot, because if you wait until the cake cools, what's going to happen is that the butter and the sugar are going to solidify, and you might not be able to take it out of your pan, and the pineapple would stick to the bottom. So you have to flip it while it's still hot. The smell, I cannot describe the smell. I cannot tell you how good the smell is. Look at this. It's like, I don't know, the sugar, it's sticking, you can tell, and the pineapple's kind of caramelized. I cannot, this is too good to be true. Now we're not going to cut through the cake right now because it's still hot, and so if we cut through it, it might fall apart. So we're gonna wait about half an hour until it firms up, and it's gonna still be warm. And actually I recommend that you eat it while it's still warm because I don't know, something about the sugar. Okay, so I'll be right back. So I have let the cake cool for approximately 30 minutes, so it's still warm and it's the best time to eat it. So let's dig in. It's just soft, moist cake. It's just unbelievable. Seriously. Like, can you tell how the crumb is just so soft and moist and fluffy and delicious? But wait till you taste it. Wait till I taste it. My husband there behind the camera, he's so jealous because this is his favorite cake ever, and he's like watching me and drooling. Want some? Of all the times that I made this cake for my friends or my family, not one person didn't fall in love with it. It is so good. You absolutely have to go try it. Just try it, and you will make it every week because it's so good. Okay guys, thank you. Can't even stop. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time for another wonderful recipe like this. Bye!